All right. Welcome, ladies. Angel Hicks here, and we are in our literary circle this morning, and we are talking about Reinvent Yourself. This book is by James Altucher, and I think I said that right. I'm not really sure. And it's really a book about his personal journey to, it's a template for how to best adapt in a world that's always changing. Okay. And his story of how he's consistently reinventing himself. So he says you have to choose yourself and carve your own completely unique path in a chaotic world. And we know that's true. We're all doing that. And Reinvent Yourself is his template for kind of creating that path. Now, this is another book that has lots and lots of chapters, lots and lots of great information. It's kind of a shorter book. So these 3 points that we pulled out is not even touching on the entire premise of the book, but hopefully we'll get enough out of it to make a good point with it and know what it's about. So there's the top three things we're going to talk about today is think back to your childhood and find something that you enjoyed and do it daily. The second thing is use your pain productively by channeling into your passion. And I think we can all think of things that brought us pain or suffering, or maybe suffering of a loved one, and kind of that's what catapulted us into doing what we're doing now. And then making decisions based on how much you'll grow and not what you fear. So the first lesson we're going to talk about is picking a passion from childhood and work on it daily. Now, this one was tough because in childhood, I moved a lot. I didn't have a lot of friends. So which I'm an introvert, so it really worked out for my benefit. But I did a lot of work by myself, right? A lot of things I did in my room by myself, reading, coloring, cartwheels. I did a lot of those. I was really good at cartwheels. And I couldn't do that now, though. I'm not working on that daily, but I'll hurt myself. But if you can make the time to work on something every day, whatever it is, you're bound to find some degree of success with it within your lifetime. So he talks a lot about like Van Gogh. Van Gogh painted like 700,000 pictures before he even became famous, right? We know a lot of these people that didn't start writing books until Stephen King was like 70 something, I think, or before he started writing books, and then wrote like 72 books. So if you work on something every day, it says you're bound to find some degree of success with it, and you start to reinvent yourself as that person successful in that thing. The second thing is, what did you love doing when you were growing up? Like, what made you totally forget time? Even if it's something like impractical and ridiculous, because that's what childhood is. It's just impracticality and ridiculousness all the time. But it can at least provide kind of a starting point on a passion project or something that you want to do in your business, maybe implement. And then he says, I loved this quote. What's the difference between good and God? The answer is O. So whatever makes you feel good, whatever energizes you and lights you up inside, that's God. And you can interchange that word with energy, universe, whatever works for you. But he's telling you that that's what you're meant to be doing. And I loved that because I thought back to the parts of my business that I love and the parts of my business that I don't so much love. The parts that feel good and energize me and lights me up, that's where my passion is. And it helped me kind of narrow down like what part of my business and what part of what I'm doing right now, and trying to change culture and energize women and make them all feel welcome and like they belong here. That's what energizes me. So think about your own business and kind of what lights you up and what feels good about that, and really concentrate on more of that passion. The second lesson is channel your pain into your passion. So besides having a shot at making a living doing what you love, practicing your passion daily has a lot of other benefits. So he says the biggest one of all may be that you can now channel your own pain, negative emotions, and disappointments in a productive way. So when we use our pain or suffering or negative emotions, other people have those too. So once we use that and kind of what happened to us or how we got through it, we then are relating to other people that potentially our ideal clients or people that resonate with us. And then how we got through that then can help other people who are going through the same thing. Because we all know, regardless of how alone we feel, you're never really alone in the experiences that you've had. Millions of people have had similar experiences or the same experiences. So we know that using that, we can help other people. So he talks about Eminem. So Eminem did this exact thing, right? When he wrote that song, he was in poverty. His mom was a drug addict, all of those things. And then he writes this song about it and shoots up into, being famous and doing all the things. And that's his passion. So because other people can relate to that. So we want to be relatable by using our negative emotions, our own pain, to reinvent ourselves into someone that is relatable, that can help other people with their own. The third thing is make growth-based decisions and not fear-based decisions. Fear-based decisions, you think, I don't make fear-based decisions. Everything I do is about growth and love and blah, blah, right? There's a lot of times we make decisions because of FOMO, which is fear of missing out. There's a lot of times we're going to make fear-based decisions based on, some inner fear that we are not good enough or people will perceive us a different way. So he says, once you know your core values, he suggests that you should align all of your decisions with those core values. And a simple question you can use to ensure is, what was my last decision, was fear-based or growth-based? And really, when you ask yourself that question, dig deep into why you made that decision. Because we can spin anything into a growth-based decision, right? We can talk ourselves into all kinds of things, but really dig deep in that. Did I make that decision because I'm afraid of missing out on the next client? Did I make that decision because I have a fear that people won't like me? So I did this thing, or I agreed to be on this board, even though I'm stressed to the gills and I don't have time for it. What were those choices out of fear and not out of growth? So, and if on the same side, did you join that board because you knew the growth that was going to come from it? That kind of thing. So that's kind of a way to test how you're making your decisions. He says, constantly unmasking your fears and then growing around your true values is one of the best ways to reinvent yourself. And your core values can change over time. So I do a workshop, Know Your Vision for Business and Life. And I always say to redo that process every year, because we're constantly evolving and we're constantly growing. We're learning new things. Other people are bringing in other values that we didn't even think about, right? So always kind of reinventing ourselves. He says the top millionaires in the world, billionaires, are constantly reinventing themselves. They're constantly bringing in other streams of income. They're constantly learning about themselves, reading, and all of those things. So that is something easy for us to do as well. So the main points in this book is reinvention is life. This is the call to adventure. I love this quote. This is the call to adventure that constantly whispers to us. Do we answer the call? Do we take that call and take action? And then reinvention is never over. Today is your first day. It's always our first day. So our breakout questions, and if you're watching this on replay, again, I always recommend you grab your journal and just journal about a couple of these things as little prompts. So what was your favorite activity as a kid? What brought you joy? Just think about that. What did you do as a kid? Number 2, think back to your last business decision. Was it based in fear? So was it based in scarcity or FOMO, fear of missing out? Or do you think oh no, I missed that word. Or do you think it was based on growth? Okay, which one of those was that last one? And then if you could think of one event that has caused you pain or suffering that could fuel your passion in your business, what would it be? And is there a story you could use to connect with your ideal clients? So those are our breakout questions. We hope that you journal about those and think about that. And we will see you on the next call. Thank you.